Hi y'all, it's Brandy, and today of 31 Days of Tarot 2020 is day number 6. Ta-da! Look at me being fancy. This is my fancy situation. I took over my daughter's room while she's at school. So today's prompt is what decks you're looking forward to in 2020. And I have to apologize for the lighting glare. I have to get this done as fast as possible. My daughter has a situation, she's a thing, and I need to take her to the ENT. And so I am just trying to get this done and up so that I can feel validated and justified in watching everyone else's videos because I did mine. So we're gonna do this fairly quickly, I hope. Today, like I said, is the 31 Days of Tarot, and this is, I really hope this is mirrored. I didn't actually check. I used to have it automatically would mirror, so hopefully that's not backwards. If it is, just drop me a line so that I know. Or watch this with a mirror handy. 31 Days of Tarot, day number 6. And no, I did not purposefully do Halloween colors, but there you go. So these are some of the new ones. This is one of the decks that I'm looking forward to maybe getting and looking forward to. It's the Secret Language of Color, which is an older deck, quite a bit actually. But I've been fascinated with color theory and how color affects you. And I really have been kind of hoping to get that deck. So, of note, I'm not actually a collector. I have the decks that I have, and then every once in a while a deck will be something that I need to have. I don't really have FOMO too often. I actually have this terrible habit of going and looking at Kickstarter decks and finding something I really like the, what was the tarot that was based on chemistry? Started with an M. Gorgeous deck. Really wanted it. Completely forgot to back it. Completely. Went back on 2 days after it finished. I had a reminder set on the wrong day on my calendar. And so I emailed and was like, hey, could I back this still or whatever? And they were like, not so much. Okay. Just a minute ago, I was looking at Kickstarter. There's a deck that I'm interested in called the Philosophy cards. And I love philosophy and I love existential theory of philosophy. You will hear there's a child singing. He's got noise canceling headphones on, so he's just gonna be singing really loud. Anyway, I wanted to get the early deck due out in July and went on Kickstarter, saw there was one still available, was like, okay, I'm just gonna look around a little bit more. 10 minutes pass, go back. Okay, I'm gonna back it. So I don't forget, go back, it's already gone. The reward is gone, and now it's just regular. So I'm like, I'll get around to it, or I won't in the next 24 hours. I really wanted the early start deck, mostly because it's going to be released in July, and my kids would be out seeing their dad, and it would give me a chance to really spend time with it. Now that it would just be a regular release, it's not quite a thing for me. Anyway, this is the old one. Some of the new ones. Edmund Dulac has a tarot deck coming out in July that I love the art for, and the Gilded Tarot Royale by Llewellyn, that's coming out in April. They're both going to be available on Amazon. I really like the art by Edmund Dulac. I don't know if the deck would speak to me. I kind of want to, oh, now the light has sort of changed. Yay! I would like to sort of see a little bit more about it, but I do like that art. Okay, so this was a big one for me because I really like this deck. I like the color of this deck, screams at me, and I just love the art of this deck. But I don't like her other deck that she's put out, the one with the pink and the blue. The Lightseers Tarot is coming out in December on Amazon. What? Everyone send me Amazon gift cards. Holidays done. Yay! And I don't even know. this was one of those decks that I wanted to kind of see more of it before I got it, and then couldn't get it, and then I kept seeing it everywhere. I was like, what? No FOMO, just legit, that deck speaks to me. So now I can get it, and I know I can kind of save up, and it'll be fantastic. I know what. Okay, the Star Spinner Tarot comes out in March, and the Hoodoo Tarot is also coming out on Amazon, and that's what both of those are. The Star Spinner, I kind of like the art for. It grabbed my attention, but I'm not sure if I would read with it. That deck screams to me as a deck that other people might want readings done with. So I actually color coded these. My crayons are color coded. So the green ones are ones I'm really, really interested in. And if they have any sort of whatnot, like this crazy face or like, then it's a thing. The burgundy ones are ones that I'm just interested in knowing about, that they're available. Like, so for example, the Hoodoo Tarot does actually speak to me. I don't know how to put this without people getting upset. I think people are just gonna get upset, whatever. I'm Caucasian, and if I read with decks that speak to me that are from African origin or like hoodoo, I do run into some resistance in the fact that how could I possibly use those at a deep level? And for me, those people that have resistance to that they haven't reached the open-mindedness that I think is what we're capable of. I don't have a problem with it, but other people do. So, and hoodoo is something that I'm very interested in. The deck is really intriguing and quite beautiful, and I do not really know about the way they labeled some of the things. They kind of seem, what's the word I'm looking for? Non-authentic. Is there a word for that? Probably somewhere. So I may not buy it just for multiple reasons, but if I decided to get it and use it just for myself, I think I wouldn't run into any issues. Yeah, anyway, because there's some decks that I think are just amazing, but I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't know how to put that into better terms. It's kind of like some people don't like if you're not into, I'm trying to make this a different topic, like if you're not into kink in sex and then you're reading with them and you're totally open having that reading with them, but then they find out that that's not your thing, and so they sort of close it off. Really, it's not about you as the reader. And so for the Hoodoo Tarot, that falls into one of those categories. Could be fantastic as a personal read. I would not be able to read it with other people, I don't think. Really depends on the person, though, I have found. Anyway, it's just a problem that's come up in the past. Doesn't put me off any. And then the Spirit Animal Tarot, I'm looking for a spirit deck that is an animal deck. I don't have one. Been looking for one for a long time. They're either too kitschy or they don't have, like, the animals that are in it are too random or too specific, or the deck is really small. I found one that I loved, but it only had like 40 cards, and that didn't seem like a proper tarot deck to me. I didn't want just major arcana, and I couldn't figure it out. It was just weird. But I am looking for an animal tarot, animal oracle deck to have. Nicholas Ashbaugh uses one that I really like. Yeah. So there's another one on here called the Liminal Spirit Animal Oracle. And that actually looks kind of fantastic. It's kind of watercolory, which I enjoy. Oh, I forgot to put the other one on here. I was watching Vivi Verone. She's doing the 31 Days of Tarot, and her videos are so great. And she's like the editing queen, and she's very cute and funny and charismatic, and she's only done 2. She's putting days together, but she has an oracle deck, spoiler alert, that spoilers, that she sort of showed that she's working on. It has a great story behind it, really just fantastic. You gotta watch the whole thing. Her stories are amazing, but when she put the pictures up, it's pretty much everything that I'm looking for. So I may just wait for that, because yeah, it was perfect. What else do I have? I have the Shadowland Tarot, which comes out in March on Amazon. The Darkwood Tarot is pretty much a must. Like, between the Darkwood and the Light Seers, those are like my 2 this year, probably guaranteed. Everybody knows, I think, that the Everyday Witch Tarot is coming out with a mini. I like the Everyday Witch Tarot. It's kind of like the perfect combination for me of silly and purposeful, which is kind of my thing. It's, the art speaks to me, but I don't have the actual tarot deck. I love the mini decks in the tins. Only have 1. I don't really want another one, except maybe this one. This one has caught my eye. When I heard they were coming out with a mini, I was like, oh, I'll wait and see, because I don't know. I mean, this is my wallet. Like, this is my wallet, right? Like, it has to be able to fit in my pocket or my hoodie pockets or whatever. I have too many kids, too many things going on. I don't want a floppy deck or whatever. And then I heard that it was going to come out in a tin, supposedly. Yes, sold, done. So that might be a thing. It is coming out in May on Amazon, and so you can pre-order it, which works for me because I'm always forgetting to get decks. Darkwood Tarot, I just love. Everything about it. It's a deck I would read for other people. It's a deck I would read for myself. The art was instantaneous. I loved it. There you go. So those are the ones that I'm looking forward to possibly getting, possibly working with. I'm going to be studying my Solabusca, which will be quite hefty. As Above, So Below will still be something I'm working with in 2020 quite a bit. And then I did note some things from Kickstarter that are in the next month that I may consider backing. Maybe. I don't know. This is an awful lot of decks. In no way whatsoever would I be getting all of these decks. But some of the ones that looked really interesting, the philosophy cards, like I said, I think that ends tomorrow. The art is not as visceral for me, but I could totally see, when it was a Sartre philosopher and it went with it, the Sisyphus card, I was like, yes. There was a lot that was intuitive to me. So even though I didn't have a visceral reaction to it, which is what I usually judge on, I did have an intuitive reaction to it. Let's see what else. Emerging from Darkness Tarot and the Mystical Tarot are both for shadow work. Both of them look amazing. I love the idea of having decks for shadow work, especially to help other people work through shadow work. They both look amazing. If I don't know how I would choose. That would be like a flip a coin, because neither one of them are cheap. I mean, they're indie decks, right? Kickstarter. So you don't expect to go and spend $15 for a whole deck for an indie deck. Well, I don't. The Rune Oracle deck it's pretty straightforward and it's pretty simple, but if you like working with runes, which I do, I've worked with runes since I was pretty young, like 6 or 7. Runes and crystals were like my way into my way of self. That's like a whole nother story. How do I want to phrase this? If you're working with runes, sometimes having the actual runes is cumbersome, or noisy or just problematic all the way around. The deck kind of looks like it's going to do the same thing, but if you're used to working with cards, having that same mechanism to learn rune work and to add more depth to your tarot and or oracle readings could be really fantastic. And this deck is not overblown. It's very straightforward, it looks like. I like the coloring of it. So I think it's kind of fantastic. I would recommend you look at it if you're interested in runes. It's on Kickstarter. It's called the Rune Oracle Deck. I think it's got like 25 more days or something. And then my quality time self-care cards just came out with a second edition. So I missed the first one, and I really wanted them. I wanted them for reads for other people and for myself, and like just a daily pull. Just so many reasons. And I like the artwork on that. It speaks to a lot of people. It is an all feminine deck. If you know of a self-care deck that is kind of more balanced, I would love to know about that, because I have been having trouble finding one. Most self-care everything is geared towards women, which I get. Like, I so understand the reasoning for that. I don't need to be told the reasoning for that. I work with self-care. Like, I make candles and soap with the intention of helping people gear towards self-care in like a simple fashion. Like, I mean, you're going to use soap every day, I hope. So if that's your method of self-care, like, good. Stinky people are not my favorite. But I feel like men also need that. They also need that empowerment, and not from a feminine standpoint, but from a manly standpoint. And I would love to find a deck that really incorporates that. Just a balanced one, you know, that's got the energies of both, that can say, hey, you need to work on your masculine side. Hey, you need to work on your feminine side. And just here's where it's reading from. But I have not been able to find one. So let me know if that's a thing. Anyway, so my quality time came out with the second edition. So I may be ordering that. So I have it. And that's all the decks. And that's a lot of decks. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to say, so Tarot Oracle, this guy right here on YouTube, he does like reviews of things that are coming out. So he'll do all the work for you, unless that's your thing. It's not really my thing. I don't have a lot of time as I make yet another video for YouTube. You'll notice I don't edit and I show up in random spaces, and like, this is the daughter's bookshelf. I didn't have time to, yeah, it's not a thing. What you get is what you get with me. And I have said way too many times in this video. Go back and watch. There's like 7 of them. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I told you about Vivi's video because she's adorable and I loved watching her. That's about it. I did look into the Tarot Symposium, Northwestern Tarot Symposium. I have to find some stuff that's kind of near me. I have some from the West Coast recently. I have family out there, so that tarot thing makes sense. But I imagine that if I go to that, I would find a lot more decks that I need to have. Need to have. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. So if you know of any other things that are more on the East Coast in this next year of the same concept of like the symposium or talks, please let me know, because I will respond and read this faster than I will Google that for my own self. I think the only other thing for 2020 is I'm doing a lot of Benebell stuff, and that is going to be really intriguing and eye-opening or refreshing, because some of it is information I already know, and it's just kind of a refresher. And there you go. That's my big plans for 2020, y'all. I'm gonna get ready to go take the child to the doctor. I love your faces, and I appreciate you spending time with me. And I hope that your 2020 is going fantastic. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.